Okay, so this is not my sleeping cat video. This is session 5 of our handwriting, but I just couldn't resist showing you my sleeping kitty. So in session 5 we're going to practice joining U to a variety of different letters. We start off with just the U itself, and we'll do some practice lines. So starting on the line, as always, up, down, there's your flick. Let's do a line of U's just to get our hand used to doing that motion and that rhythm. Your U should be sitting on the line. I'm not doing very well here. Sit on the line. Sitting on the line. Now if we join a U to a U, which we'd never need in English, but it's really good practice. There's the U, straight lines. Now we need a diagonal, and now another line that goes straight down, straight down. You should be able to tell that they're two U's because it's got a diagonal line in the middle and vertical lines for the U's themselves. So vertical lines, diagonal, vertical lines. Vertical lines, diagonal, vertical. Vertical, diagonal, vertical. Let's now practice joining that U to some of the letters at the top of the page. We'll start with an L. So there's our U. There's the diagonal join, and when we join then to a letter with an ascender, the join only goes halfway. We then need to go straight up, straight down, and put its leading line on the bottom. There's the U, there's the diagonal join, and now it's going to go straight up, straight down, leading line on the bottom. Diagonal join, straight up, straight down, leading line carrying on at the bottom. Diagonal and vertical. Diagonal and vertical. Okay, let's do a repeating pattern this time. So we're going to do a U to a T. Remember, it's not as tall as an L. And a U to a K. That leading line only goes halfway, and then we need that straight vertical line for the rest of the letter. So U, diagonal, vertical. There's that U with its diagonal leading line, and then vertically to the top and back down again. Diagonal, vertical, diagonal and vertical. And the last one we're going to practice is a U to a B. So there's that diagonal line, and then vertically straight to the top, back down and round. There's a diagonal leading line, and then straight up, straight down. So you need to practice those letter joins before moving on to the next section. When you've got those letter patterns, you can then move on to writing some words. Let's start off with these words. It's a good idea to write a whole line of them. It helps your hand get used to the movements you need to make. If you notice, each time we've got that diagonal leading line. So we can do cub, and we can do tub. Oops, that wasn't a very good leading line. Not vertical enough. That one's much better there. Let's try again. Vertical, diagonal, diagonal. That was much better because I was concentrating and taking my time. diagonal, diagonal. Of course, we can change those words completely if we just add an E to the end. So cub becomes, and that was my cat snoring, cub becomes cube. B doesn't join on, we just add that E onto the end. Diagonal, there's that diagonal join, and an E on the end. And tube is exactly the same. Diagonal, diagonal, and an E with the leading line starting close to that B, so you can tell it's part of the same word. One more. Of course, if you're not getting it quite right, keep trying, practice makes perfect. Tube. Okay, just 3 more words to practice and then we'll have a go at writing some sentences. So I'm going to write mule, M, diagonal join, diagonal join, and then comes that join to the E that we practiced in the last video, mule, diagonal join, diagonal join, and a join to the E that we practiced in that last video. And last of all, diagonal join, and a join onto the E that we practiced already. You need to have a go at writing those words at least 3 times, if not a whole line. These are the patterns you need to keep practicing until it looks absolutely beautiful, and then we'll move on to writing some sentences. Okay, so we're going to use 2 lines to write some of our sentences, and then we'll write the rest of them at the actual height that you'll be writing them in your books. So here's our first sentence. Diagonal join, diagonal. Leading line starting here because a B doesn't join on. Ruby, leading line, diagonal, diagonal, and then that vertical line. Make sure your tall letters are twice the height. Joining onto an E like we practiced last time, and then I'm going to join onto an R. I don't know if we've practiced that yet, but it's quite easy. The E finishes there. There's your diagonal leading line to the top of that letter R. Ruby cut her. Any guesses what we're going to cut? All those letters we've been practicing. What do you think it's going to say? Diagonal join. Ruby cut her, of course, knee. Capital letter to begin a sentence. I'm going to join to an R again. Diagonal join, the R finishes just at the top. Mum. Diagonal join, we're doing it to an S. The letter E starts at the bottom again. Her mum used diagonal, diagonal and vertical. Okay, we're going to write a word now, but we've not actually practiced the join, so watch carefully. We're going to write of. So, letter O, leading line is at the top, and then we're going to write a letter F by just going up and over the top and back down. We'll practice those joins in a later video. Watch how we join on that letter R. This is a funny join. It's the only time a letter looks a little bit different to how it does in any other join. So we're going to join onto an E. There's the end of the R. You just need to dip down a little bit and go back to the top. We will practice that join in a later video. Her mum used a tube of cream. And then the last sentence. we start on the line, remember, vertical, diagonal, and then a vertical join. Join into an E and an R. And there we go. So Ruby cut her knee, her mum used a tube of cream, Dad held her hand. Our last sentences are all going to be at the correct height, so we're going to shrink our writing and try and stay between these two lines, imagining that there's a line that runs across the middle so that all our counter letters, those small ones, are exactly the same size. So, oh, I did that wrong. I didn't have a leading line. Start again, Mrs. Omri. Capital I. Start on the line. It's oh, Mrs. Omri, a letter T doesn't go to the top. I'm going to write that word of again. It's a tub of, diagonal join, diagonal up to the top. It's a tub of cubes. They're really silly sentences. We're just practicing letters which have these joins in them. Diagonal, diagonal up to the top. Diagonal up to the top. Dot on after you finish the word. Diagonal, vertical, diagonal join, diagonal and vertical, and our last sentence, diagonal join, diagonal and vertical. We really do need to practice that join, don't we? The Duke has a tub of, diagonal and vertical. There we go. The more time you take with these joins, the better it will eventually be. Remember, I keep saying this, it's not a race. The aim is to make your handwriting look as beautiful as you can, and then you can practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the more secure, the more confident you will be of your joins and where to start and stop, and the quicker you will get. Keep practicing. Practice makes perfect. Bye for now.